This lodge is really neat. We're gonna take a little tour here. Saturday morning, August 31st. We're packed and ready to get on the water here. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Really nice sleep. Lovely little room I'll show you here. The Sparrow room. Had morning coffee. Just gonna check out which launch is the best to load up, and we're gonna get going. Hi. Good boy. So we're on the water. Temagami Lake. Day 1. Technically day 2. Because I stayed at the lodge last night. It is absolutely a stunning day. And I'm not sure how far I'm going to get. We usually have these trips planned out with all the T's crossed and the I's dotted. But I'm kind of winging it this time. Wow, it's really stunning. In true fashion, as I was halfway across the first bay, a gentleman who I was speaking with earlier in a boat said, "Ahoy there!" And I stopped and said, "Hey," he said, "the owner said you left something there, a leather bag or something. Looked like it had medicine in it." I was thinking, must be somebody else. I don't have anything leather. And I debated going back, and I mean, if I don't have everything I need, then I don't have everything I need, because, shocker, I don't pack light. And I always regret it. But what are you going to do? And then I was paddling along, I figured, oh, you know what, it's my overnight bag for staying at the motel. I have the lightweight one in my pack, so I'll just get it on the way back. I'd forget to wear my pants on Sunday if nobody said anything. So I have a decision to make. I came across the first campsite, and it's free. I'm shocked. It looks to be quite nice. There's a lot of fuel. I'd get an east-facing sunrise. I don't typically get a site this early in the day. Then I was rethinking my original plan and wondering if it's just too ambitious for the time allotted. Either way, I'm looking at 1,100 or 1,000 meter portage. Oh, I'm torn. I'm so torn. This is so tempting. In any case, I think it deserves a look anyway, so let's have a boo. Well, this site is really nice. Water access for swimming is amazing. It has a thunderbox, a little bit decrepit, but still, and lots of fuel. And I think I'm going to modify my trip. I think it was too ambitious. So I'm going to make an early campsite, which is really uncharacteristic for me. It'll give me some time. to unwind, set up a proper campsite, and enjoy the afternoon. And then tomorrow will be a little bit more portage and paddle heavy. I'm sold. I just can't pass it up. Holy Hannah, look at how clear that water is. That's nuts. I sharpened up my axe, and then I found this behind a tree. And it's not in too bad shape. Full size. So that's cool. I use that first. Yeah. So I'm checking out the first portage for tomorrow morning, 175 meters. It's just around the corner, so it looks like there's been some work done on these trails and the site that I'm staying at. And couldn't ask for a nicer day, weather-wise. Also, no bugs, which is really, really nice. Really nice. Because nobody likes mosquitoes. I don't know one person, I've never met one person that loves mosquitoes. Show me that guy. What a lovely, lovely spot to portage. Oh. Usually it's so difficult, it's craggly, it's muddy, you gotta drag your canoe out. I hope this is indicative of things to come, because, yeah. I'm feeling like my modification of my trip is the right call. So, wind's picking up. Gonna head back and make a special dish for dinner. Ha 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 ha! So, my friend Darylyn had this cool idea to do umami accordion tofu camp style. Let us begin. So I just realized what that guy meant when he said the owner said you forgot something. It wasn't my overnight bag. It was my sauce and spice rack thingy, rectangle thing. It's pleather, which really sucks. However, I did pack extra olive oil in a jar, and I did bring a bag of vegan butter for greasing pans. So I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. We're going to be okay. However, we have no salt for the flavor elevator. And yeah, Chef Adam is really working with bare bones here. That's how she goes. Sometimes she goes, sometimes she don't go. Combine maple syrup, soy sauce, rice vinegar, sriracha, which we're replacing with something that I can't pronounce. We're going to call it gargle broth sauce. Garlic and ginger and whisk together. Heat, salt and pepper, which I don't have, to taste, and blah blah blah, and make it, and finish it off with scallion, cilantro, and sesame seeds. I can't believe I left the spice. This is a grand mess, I'll tell you what. Umami accordion tofu. The first portage of the day, 175 meters. Man, did the wind ever pick up. It was just around the corner, but I thought it was going to flip me. It just came out of nowhere. It wasn't supposed to have gusts like that today. It's only supposed to be maybe 16 or 18. And that felt like 30. But who knows, weather does what it wants. So I'm going to change into my wet shoes and get this first jaunt over. Hop across Dune Lake, little pond. And then we got that beast 1100, and I'm really hoping it's flat. Second load. It's nice and cool, but sunny, which is exactly what I want for this kind of gear humping. Oh, I hope this 1100 isn't going to be a killer. Modification number 3 of the trip. Just to Make it a bit less of a slog fest and more of a pleasurable camp out that does not come without its own struggles. As I was saying before on that last campsite, someone had come and cut up a bunch of pine, and you could hear the bugs gnawing away in the inside of them. I remember that from the cottage, these beetles. I can't remember the name of them. The pine beetles, I think. And you can hear them under the bark and inside the tree going. And I'm wondering if they cut that tree down for that reason. And also to provide firewood, but this has also been cleared and a few ribbons marked to show you the way, even though it's a short portage. But anywho, this is interesting. Track mark. Wonder what that is. Too small for a bear. Could be a wolf. Got to keep my wits about me here. Oh, lovely little beaver house there. And the portage is at the other end somewhere. Okay, well, I found the portage and it is straight up. Oh, hopefully it's just at the start and then it's all downhill, or at least flat. Why? Okay, I decided I'm going to do a bit of a game of leapfrog here. The first part is super steep, and then it looks like it slopes off and at least gets a little bit flat, and I can see the opening yonder. I'll get all the stuff up the top of the hill and then leapfrog it down. Ooh, Nelly. This is interesting. There was a fire here, but somehow it was contained. I'm shocked that the whole forest didn't go up, because it looks like it was fairly substantial. Wow. I wonder, lightning, or maybe somebody decided to try and cook something and it got out of control. But man, stark reminder, it can happen that easily. You can still smell the char. Haunting. I can't believe I have to do that one more time. Whew. Let's get to it. Well, we just got on the water and it's raining and it's windy as all get out. I'm just hoping if I wait a few minutes here, it'll settle down. Oh my goodness, challenges. Found them. Pictographs. That's fascinating. So the first site was taken on the map, which is just as well because I haven't really made enough distance. I have 2 more coming up shortly, and then after that I'm gonna have to really pound it. Either that or go into Flume Lake. But not making anywhere near the amount of progress I thought I would. Fighting a headwind, and that portage was just gnarly, absolutely gnarly. So onward. Let's hope Lady Luck is with us. That's a crazy headwind. Let's get across this bay. Kicking my back end there. Holy macaroni. Come on. Holy lightning, boys. Well, again, I'm torn. I found this site here. It's got a cute little beach, which is nice. But the actual campsite with the fire pit is way back in there, which means I gotta hump everything in and hump everything back. There is fuel, but I am tempted just to push on. There's an island site and then looks like a west facing site, so there's two opportunities. It's getting late in the day, and if those don't pan out, I could always head back here. It's a bit of a gamble, but it also gives a little bit more distance. I'm just starting to run low on the tank. I need to make dinner and relax. My legs are screaming, my back is screaming, my arms are screaming. I'm screaming. So I'm gonna think about it a couple of minutes here and make a decision. Okay, island site. Having a little look. Get a nice sunset. Fire pit's really tiny. Nice flat tent pad though. No fuel to speak of, but I guess that's trade, isn't it? Beautiful tent pad. There is a cabin across the way. I don't remember understand that. Temagami, really? But I'm gonna have a quick look and just see if there's even enough fuel here for fire. And then I gotta call it because I am just dying. I need to eat and rest. I've been traveling for seven hours. Whew. And there is a brand new Thunderbox. I'm taking it. There's a second fire pit over there. Looks like that maybe was the original one. And this one's a really small one. So anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm out of fuel, so here we are, home for the night. Little island paradise. Okay, I'm back. I had to smash some food and get a fire going and gear dump, set up the tent, and then it rained a little bit. and I had to just sit down for a bit. That was a very long day, so I'm going to get the tent set up and read a little bit of my book and plan for tomorrow, because tomorrow we go to Donald Lake. Good morning, day 3. I'm sure you couldn't help but notice my stylish onesie here. It's actually a sleeping bag liner from Sea to Summit. The sleeping bag I have is the old Trek that's supposed to be good to +5. I had ordered a new bag for shoulder seasons, the Nemo Forte, and a new pillow as well, and it didn't arrive in time, so I had to go with it. But luckily I have the onesie, which has a hood and snaps so you can wear it like a shirt or a toga. It's also nice if you're with a significant other and you want to show a little bit of leg. Fry up the last of that umami tofu and the gargle broth I saved. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. Back out on the water, heading to McCarthy Bay, to the first 230 meter into Gold Lake, 150 into Colin Scott, and then the last 120 finally into the golden goose of the trip, I hope, the infamous Donald Lake, hence the name Donald Lake Loop. Keep tucking into little bays here and there. The wind just picks up out of nowhere, and you can't stop paddling because you'll just lose all the ground you gain, or all the water you gain. So when it kicks up, you actually have to paddle 3 times as hard as you normally would. And aside from the trip in, it's been like that the whole way. Like no respite at all. Also, I gotta take this bloody lanyard off this stupid map case. It gets caught in everything. That was a little nerve-wracking. I got into the bay just in time, and I was hoping it was one with the portage, and it is. There's a stick with a pink ribbon on it. I didn't even see it. I just guessed that that was the bay, but I had to shoot for it anyway. It's just white capping, even close to shore. It was right against the port side of the canoe, and then it was all I could do just to, I was just having visions of me capsizing. Yeah, McCarthy Bay, treacherous body of water. Holy Nelly. Then at the end I just had to use the paddle as a keel and just surf it in. I couldn't control my direction with the paddle, so I just took a note from Derek in his experience one time kayaking on the ocean. And out east, I'm being in a similar situation, which I'm sure was more precarious, but yeah, I didn't like that. That's too rough for me in my little 14.6 solo. But anyway, we're at the first portage, so let's get her going. Did the first little run. It's not bad at all. Except for it's straight up. You know, when they say whispers on the wind, it's a real thing. Coming back out on the bay through these birch stands, I could swear I can hear voices on either side. There's nobody here, but I could almost make out words. Curious. Had to stop and just make a cheese sandwich, just a snack to keep me going before a meal. I didn't have my knife on me and my cutlery's buried, so I cut the sandwich, the bun with a shovel, and just honked goops of vegan butter on there. Shovel was clean. Ish. What a crazy juxtaposition between this little pond and the white caps of Matchadash Bay. What a treat. Could almost just float here for a while. It's quiet and pretty. Well, the first part looks promising. I hope this translates. They call these Windex lakes because it has that acidic blue to it. This lighting might be better. It's like a turquoise, acidic blue. First goal accomplished. Made it to Donald Lake, and is it ever pretty? All kinds of rock carvings from over the years. Okay, we found a site and we are taking it. I actually passed by this one and I pushed my luck. And I paddled an extra hour more and fought a really brutal wind in the middle of the lake. Not quite as bad as McCarthy, but it boxed me in this little bay and I couldn't get out. Both sites that I was shooting for, just because they were a little closer to the exit tomorrow, I would come up and I'm like, oh, there's nobody there, and then I see a head pop up from the other side. And then the next one, oh, it doesn't look like there's anybody there, and I turn around the point, big red canoe. So, just a lesson learned. Oh, so we found a site. It's an island site. Brand new thunderbox. And look at what you get to see facing east during your morning constitution. Can't beat the view. This is really interesting. I just stumbled upon this walking up the hill at this site. Somebody built or was trying to build a little structure. Look at this. I mean, you can see why. The location is spectacular. A lot of work. Interesting. I really hate these things. Little traps, foot traps. I can't stand them. I set up a trail cam last night. I do it every now and then. I can't check the card until I get home, but I've never really catch anything to write home about on film. But we'll see if anything was lurking around last night. So let's look at where we've been. We started out at the Sportsman's Lodge, paddled up through Kukagami Lake into Upper Kukagami. Night 1 was there. Across Coon Lake, that beast of an 1100 meter portage, up through Magick Lake to our island site, night 2, and then across McCarthy Bay through those swells and whitecaps, 230 into Gold Lake, another 150 into Colin Scott Lake, the Windex lakes there with the turquoise water. That last 120 where the beautiful cliff face with the cave was. And then we paddled into Donald Lake. I passed this site by, wanting to make distance. This one was taken. That one was taken. So I only had 2 options because there wasn't enough time to do the 1100 or the 1000 meter portage. Do another 2 portages into Potvin Lake, or fight it all the way back to this site where we stayed last night. Should have taken it when I was here. I should have taken this site when I came across it, and ended up paddling all around the lake, being disappointed site after site, and then having to make the decision to either do another 2 short portages into a little lake that was probably right by the portage trail, or come all the way back. And I chose the latter. Sometimes it's not about just making distance and stopping to enjoy the view.